Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are looking at developing scenario 3 of my solo campaign for Frostgrave. So in the first scenario, we start a player off with the goal of getting into this mansion. Maybe I should put a roof on it. With the goal of getting into this mansion through these doors. They have a couple of treasures they can find, either in an old haunted tavern or in these storehouses, which they might instead find zombies. They have to break in through the door, and they've got these encounters. They've got encounters with the statues here, and if they wait too long, some roaming bands of skeletons. Once they get into the manor, they have access to the first floor, which is crawling with the undead. Their goal then is to get to the first floor, above ground, and in order to do so, they need to get the key from the vampire in the library. The vampire in the library will wake up after 6 turns. If they get to her before that, they can stake her, which is worth XP when tallying XP at the end, and take the key. If they don't, then she will wake up, get up, and just start wandering around, and they will have to fight a roaming creature, whereas the rest of these creatures do not roam. Should they search the first floor of the manor, there are a number of crates that they can open and search, and they will find either one of 3 treasures or one of 5 skeletons that they will then have to fight. So, how much risk are you willing to take for the rewards? Once they have the key, their goal is to get back up and ascend the stairs onto the third board. So the third board, once they've got the keys, they will then have access to everything here. The third board is a little bit more sparse. We do have roaming skeletons. Though roaming, they're not actually, they'll be the same as the ones below, except that they won't roam. We do have a number of things for them to search. These crates, and these 4. Is it just these 4 crates? These 4. 4 crates. And I've got have I done away with the crates up here aren't going to have skeletons in? There is a chance to pick up 3 treasures from these crates. Is that what I've done? These have I also wanted these to be openable. I'm pretty sure these cages and in the cages, but you can see inside the cages. The cages have creatures in them, ghouls or zombies. Now, this area here, the bone pit, the torture chamber dungeon thing, the idea behind this level is that every turn, an undead spawns. Every turn, an undead spawns until this vampire, who wakes up at the same time as the vampire on the floor below, every turn it raises undead. He raises undead. When he is dead, the undead will stop raising. There is one route to his room, which so you could rush there to stop the undead raising, and then take your time, take a little bit more time to search these rooms, or you could start searching the rooms and have to face more creatures. If it took you more than 12 turns to get here, then you're going to find that this room already has. No, I think that in this scenario these undead will move to. These undead have to be able to open the door and move. So these undead have to be able to open this door. And they have to be able to move into this room, which is the safe room. So when the scenario starts, this door unlocks. And the undead that are in here will start piling out. But it's probably they need to have this room as a safe room, so the undead, even if they're spawning before you get to this board, the scenario, it would be unfair if you didn't have that safe space to start in. Unless you just played it as one board, both levels as one board, and then they could. But then that still gets a little bit dangerous, I think. But these ones won't roam. These will keep the roaming rules from board 2. These will have to have their own roaming rules. This guy will also have. This guy just uses the vampire rules from the previous board. So the question is just treasure. Am I doing it right? I think that there's got to be something in here. Like, I feel like this is. So there's got to be something in this room that's interesting. There's got to be a reason for the player to want to go into each of these rooms. And I think that, like, you could do this and go, there is a treasure in each room and an undead thing in each room. 1 of 6 chance in each thing. Ooh, I like the idea of these cages are actually open. Can I do this? Do I have to be in create mode, build mode? No, don't do that. Undead. Ghouls. These ghouls are just in these cages. And there's got to be a treasure in here, I think. So there is a guaranteed treasure here. There is 1 guaranteed treasure here. But these creatures, when you pick the treasure up, they get out. And then these four boxes can be one of these 6 things. So you could get lucky and get 2, 3 treasures, or you could get unlucky and get 1 treasure and three undead. I think that works. And now it's just what is in here? Why would I come to the vampire? I mean, if I get to the vampire and stake him, then that's 40 XP. But otherwise, he's just a vampire to kill. Killing the vampire ends the undead summoning. So it ends the endless stream of undead that will be, but you know, it might be fairly easy to retreat off the board back to 2. I think there's got to be a treasure up here. Yeah, I think I've got to put. There are 2 treasures in there. And I'm gonna be mean and say you have to search the bookshelves. You have to search the containers. So there's the bookshelves and the armory and the dresser and the wardrobe. There are 2 treasures amongst these 6 things. I think that works. So there's a total of 5 treasures you can find on this board. No, there's a total of 6 treasures you can find on this board. But you've got, until you kill this, constantly spawning undead. And if you run around here to kill this guy, you're going to have all these undead to fight when you come back around. Which, considering you've just gone from one board to another board to here, and you haven't been able to hire new guards, so because you're fighting these things in quick succession, you're going to have less than a full troop, so it's going to be progressively harder as you move through. So that's another special rule I'll have to write. You don't have between games, between scenarios, you do not have access to your inventory at your haven, at your workshop, at your base of operations. So all treasure you collect has to go into an inventory slot of a model. Otherwise, it gets left behind. And then if you lose that model, then unless someone goes and picks that item off their body, you lose that item. So you can't do that. There might be a thing about maybe an optional rule. You can't learn spells between games for using grimoires that are at your base of operations. But you also can't hire new troops between things. So the rolls that you make between games to determine whether or not characters have lived or died, like if they've lived, someone goes down and they live, then they make it to the next thing. If they die or they're injured, you're not replacing them. You've just got to do with that one less model in your warband. So I think that we've got I'm really unsure about this level as to the difficulty. This could be really hard or really easy or really variable, depending on how long you've taken to get to places. But we'll try it out and see how it goes. So, the Vampire Lord. So setup. What have we got? We've got a room in the center front of the board. Acts as a safe zone between scenarios. This is where the player starts. It has stairs down. It has stairs down to board 2 and the next scenario end of campaign. Because the next question there is how do I end the campaign? Do I end it with this scenario, everyone leaves and they're safe, or do we have to actually escape the manor? And I'm kind of leaning towards escape the manor. There are 3 doors off the safe room. One goes to a small treasure room with 2 crates. One goes to a summoning room, off which is a small treasure room. Off which is not a small treasure room, to a summoning room, to a large summoning room, off which filled with piles of bones. Is a small dungeon room containing 4 cages with ghouls in and a treasure. The last pathway goes to a series of rooms, each of which has a skeleton, a single skeleton in the last room. These rooms lead to the furthest room from the entrance, which contains a vampire's coffin and 6 containers. Bookshelves, dressers, wardrobes. The kind of stuff you see in a personal room. 6 containers. Off this path is a small treasure room with 2 crates. Special rules. So what have we got? We've got opening crates. Game clock. This one doesn't have a clock. This is the only scenario that doesn't have a clock so far. No clock. Game clock. This scenario does not have a clock. As soon as the vampire is awake, it awakens at the same time as the vampire in scenario 2. At the end of the scenario 2 clock, it starts raising more undead. This sort of acts as a clock. As the more turns pass, the more undead models the player has to face. And this is just straight. You spend too long, you will die. Opening crates. The crates in the treasure room can be opened with an action. Roll on the following table using the same rules as other crates. Other crates, roll on the following table. So what did I have? I had... Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, okay, we'll go 1. We'll go low is bad, ghoul. Zombie, zombie, treasure, treasure, treasure. So your chances are very different. You could get 1 treasure and 3 undead, or 3 undead and 3 treasures and 1 undead, or 2 of each. Opening crates. Opening Tainers in the vampires room. As opening crates, but use the following table. 1 empty. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Empty, 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 treasure, treasure. Raise dead. Raise dead. Once the vampire has gotten out of his coffin, he will raise... Now, how many undead is he? Is he going to raise 3 undead per turn? Yes. 3 undead per turn. 1 with a sword, 1 with a bow, 1 skeleton archer, and if the rules have 1 skeleton with a spear. I don't know that the rules have that. Can't remember if the rules have that. So the rules don't have that. Just use the one with the sword. So if they're, yeah, so 3 skeletons. This will happen as long as the vampire is alive and awake. Once the vampire has gotten out of his coffin, he will raise 3 undead per turn. Cool. So now we've got what were the rules called? We've got undead movement, vampire movement. So I'm going to just use these. And we're going to have roaming undead movement. The undead, the skeletons raised in the summoning room. Oh, hang on. Raise dead. These newly raised undead are raised next to the bone pit in the summoning room, even if the vampire isn't standing anywhere near them. Because it's important that they start here, down the end here. Is there a... Hang on. No. Yeah, I've got a different night setting for the board. It's important that they start here and they move this way. So vampire movement, raising the summoning room are roaming undead. They will always move. If they can't see an enemy, they will move to the safe room. They can open the door. So we've already got rules for opening doors. They can open the doors. Are they moving to the safe room or to the vampire? Move to the vampire. Now the vampire... the vampire isn't going to move, I don't think. He is going to stay in his room where he is, though he may wander around inside it. Move as per normal creature movement rules, but he never goes within 1 inch of a wall except in combat. So now we've got the treasure in the cages. The cages open when the treasure in the prison dungeon gets picked up. After this, the Ghouls inside can move as per the Undead Movement rules. So they will stay where they are unless they can see a creature. And I think that that's pretty much it. I think that's all there is to it, because there's these guys stay where they are. These guys will roam towards the vampire. You can come in here and open these. You can come in here and pick this treasure up, but you've got to face these 4 ghouls. There are 2 treasures in here, but you'll have to face the vampire, and that then puts all these extra undead behind you. When the vampire's dead, they stop raising, but then you can come back down. The only thing is scenario 4 and how well the so treasure and experience. The scenario ends when you move your models back down to board 2. So it's just simply go back down to board 2 to end the scenario. Treasure and experience. I don't know if we need to keep anything about that. And escape. So the thing with the escape would be coming back out here and having to leave from the far side. And there are potentially undead all around here. So that's what we would be looking at. Maybe we'll write a scenario for that as well. But the thing that I think that I need to write now are special rules for the campaign surrounding between turns. Resting treasure between treasure between treasure. Opening treasure between scenarios. Between scenarios, you do not have access to your home base. When you open treasures and roll on the treasure table, these items must be equipped to a model or left behind. Model in an available inventory spot or left behind. Death and injury between scenarios. Between scenarios, you do not have access to your home base. You cannot recruit new. You cannot recruit new members to your mercenaries. Warband. Injured. When rolling injuries, dead mercenaries cannot be replaced. Injured mercenaries have fled back the way they came to your home base. and recovered mercenaries have made recovered models, because this might not just be mercenaries. It could be your wizard or apprentice, and recovered models when rolling injuries, dead models cannot be replaced. Injured models have fled back the way they came to your home base, and recovered models have made their way to the next scenario and are available. So you can then equip them with treasure. We'll go optional. Wounded models are available, but start at half health. They cannot raise their health past half. Well, they just start at half health on all subsequent turns, unless healed with healing magic. So, okay. Optional. Only equipped items are available when leveling. Because you don't have access to your home base's inventory, any grimoires left there cannot be used to learn spells. New spells must be learnt by grimoires in inventory slots. In a model's inventory slot. Yeah. I like that. And I think that we've got sort of the core of this campaign working. You could probably just play scenarios 1, 2, and 3. And then if there's just a question about what we want to do with scenario 4. But I will leave that there for the moment and maybe do another video on that once I've worked that out. Or maybe the next video will just be me playing this through. So I hope you've enjoyed this process as much as I have. Let me know what you think. I'm keen for feedback. Maybe you've got an idea that this is too hard or this is too easy. Let me know and let me know why. What do you think could be done differently? Or if you go and play this yourself, let me know what your experience is. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.